Right, good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to, I believe it's week 10 of term 2, so we are nearly there. Let's start with probably the most exciting song I've ever played in our time during isolation and post-isolation, so here we go. See the bombers fly up, swing the premiership flag. All boys who in this eternal game are always striving for glory and fame. See the bombers fly up the other team. Alright, I just realised I've probably alienated 200 Year 12 students. But anyway, how exciting it is to have footy back and something to watch and get distracted by on the weekend. So hope your team won and you're enjoying the footy season. Right, wear your uniform like a royal. So please make sure uniform is spectacular. Some of the students currently just taking a few liberties, particularly with shaving, I've noticed. So please don't have me have to remind you. You take responsibility. Also, beanies, Michael Batista and Giuliano Bignew. No beanies inside. They will be confiscated. And that goes for anybody else who fails to wear their uniform with pride like a royal. All right, I had the great pleasure of watching the drama students in action doing their group production. So it was fantastic the other day. So two groups of Year 12 students were performing their group piece. Obviously, they do their solos later on. Of all subjects, I can't think of any which is probably more challenged by being in isolation. So these students have done a fantastic effort to maintain the connection between one another and be able to produce outstanding performances. So well done to all of the Year 12 drama students and good luck in your results at the end of the year. So here's a couple of the shots from the evening. Great actors. Be famous one day, these young men. Look at these characters. We might even actually watch a couple.
We want yes. Absolutely want yes. We want yes. No. What? Not 1K, yes. It's actually Suzuki. Wait, who's that? Aaron Driver Suzuki. That's someone watching on the way here. It's not even white. We want 1K yes. 1K yes. 1K yes. 1K yes. 1K yes. 1K yes. Fall in line, men. On the march. I ain't zero. I'm a hero. I ain't zero. I'm a hero. I ain't zero. I'm a hero. I ain't zero. I'm a hero.
And that was the theme, that from zero to hero, or from hero to zero. So terrific performance by the young men, and what they were chanting then, well, obviously a little bit of Queen, We Will Rock You, but that was mixing up the letters for Kanye West as their hero. Let's watch Mr. Tranter in action.
That's kind of the point of my character. I'm brazen. I don't care what people think about me. That's why people like Donald Trump and Kanye West are hailed as heroes in society. Even when I do absolutely horrible things, I can always rely on Fox News to twist my words. Take this cripple, for example. Police leg sweep. Now media, take that away. Welcome back to Channel 8 News. My name's Michael and it's Spike. In breaking news, 1K has surprised us once again, breaking all social barriers, helping a crippled man free himself from the restraints of his cane. Michael, how good is this man? Absolutely amazing, Michael. It's just amazing how he's letting him pores. So...
And filtered throughout all of their productions were a lot of social issues, and they presented them brilliantly. So they certainly left you thinking of a whole range of topical issues in society, and so quite challenging. Here's another one to finish off on. It would help if I press the play button. I know it's going to work somewhere. There we go.
Well, I built a time machine, went back in time and killed that man who ate the bat. Oh, yeah.
it does prove you can almost get away with anything in the name of drama and acting. Right, so don't need to read all this, but this is just a few notes to remind me. This was sent to me by Mr. Harrop, who is organising the memorabilia along with a number of students. I see Thomas Raymond is front and centre there. So they're not far away. So what we're looking at this year is going through a local company and supporting Australian businesses. So they're made locally in Hawthorn, Canterbury. And that should be, I think, a nice social responsible issue for the business management students. So they're looking, I think, at a 3/4 vest and maybe hoodies, rugby tops, but they're putting a few designs together. And in the next week, I'd imagine we would be putting those to the year level, and you can vote on those and then try on the sample designs, and then we can start the ordering process, hopefully before the end of term 2, so they can be delivered toward the end of term 3, early term 4. So looks exciting, and we look forward to the designs that the boys produce in the coming days. I don't like Mondays. We had this last week, so still a few issues being raised. So what we're trying to do, and I think that's already been communicated to staff, is that on Mondays, period 4, because it's now flipped, so lunch is before period 4, is that you'll be let out early, so hopefully about 10 minutes early. So negotiate that with your teachers. They've already been advised of that, that you can then go and prepare, have a bit of a break, something to eat or whatever, and chill before you go in and do the SACs, which I think probably are mostly math SACs from memories on the Mondays. So that is the schedule. So we're going to give you a little bit of break there, so you're not going straight from period 4 and straight into the SAC room. Right, get excited, only 2 weeks to go, so very important that you finish strong. And in line with that, I thought it was appropriate that I show you what I think is quite a powerful little clip regarding finishing strong.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you. My name is Nick Vujicic, and it's a pleasure to be with you. So I have no limbs, but I have a little chicken drumstick. And so it's like, you know, like that? That would be really cool if I could get this and get some techno going, like, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. You like that? Is that cool? Beautiful. But honestly, along the way, you might fall down like this. Ready? Right? So what do you do when you fall down? Get back up. Everybody knows to get back up, because if I start walking, I'm not going to get anywhere. But I tell you, there are some times in life where you fall down. You feel like you don't have the strength to get back up. Do you think you have hope? Because I tell you, I'm down here, face down, and I have no arms, no legs. It should be impossible for me to get back up, but it's not. You see, I will try 100 times to get up, and if I fail 100 times, if I fail and I give up, do you think that I'm ever going to get up? No. But if I fail, I try again, and again, and again. But I just want you to know that it's not the end. It matters how you're going to finish. Are you going to finish strong? You will find that strength to get back up, like this.
Okay, so hopefully all of you gentlemen are going to finish strong. So obviously it's a high pressure period, so the next 2 weeks, quite a number of sacks scheduled. You need to stay focused. Right? And remember that your ATAR, although important, it's the journey. It's your effort along the way which is going to build your character and something you can reflect back on and think, well, I tried my best, regardless of the score that you get. So you've got a great opportunity coming up. So obviously with the removal of various dot points from Unit 4, one can logically conclude that your final exams are going to be made up of a bit more of Unit 3. Right? So you've got the holidays coming up to really revise, get your study notes in order, do a number of Unit 3 practice exams, or do end-of-year exams and pick out the Unit 3 topics, because that's going to be heavily scrutinised, I think, in the exams at the end of the year. So what you've covered in Unit 3. Right? So don't give up, regardless of what scores you've been getting in SACs. If you do well on the exam, you can be very much elevated in terms of your study scores. Right? So lots of people go through difficulties in life. Lots of people go through hardships. It's just what we all have to endure. Right? But maintain your focus. Have a goal. Have a sense of purpose about what you want to accomplish, the type of person you want to become. And remember, the effort is absolutely critical in terms of building you up as a person over a long period of time. Right? Don't focus on, am I going to pass or am I going to fail? Just focus on each day, doing your best you possibly can, and making sure you do the appropriate preparation in terms of your Unit 3 revision and exam practice. Right, so I wish you all the best in the remaining couple of weeks with your SACs. But remember, the 2 weeks coming up is a huge opportunity to absolutely consolidate everything that's been done in Unit 3, regardless of your SAC scores to date. Right, remember, they just determine the ranking. Right, they're not going to determine the outcome if you do really well in the exam. Right, you can definitely pull your scores up significantly. And as I said at the start of the year, you all depend on one another. Right, you can't have several students in a class or a subject dropping the ball, because that will infect, to a certain extent, everybody else in terms of the scaling and study scores for other students. So if you're not coping, you feel like you want to opt out, then please have a conversation with me and Ms. Bourne about what you want to do. You can drop subjects, you can look at being unscored, there's plenty of options for you. Right? But the important thing is to either stay on track or to make a really good decision for the best possible outcome for you, right? And also in discussion with your family. Okay, that's it for week 10. So this week and next week, give it your best. Obviously, Friday week is a day off. Would have been the formal, would have been a great day of celebration. So still, fingers crossed, the way things are developing, it might be a possibility that toward the end of term 3, we can have that terrific celebration and party during the holidays. Right, so see you at school, and all the best for the last couple of weeks.